Winner takes all. What is that? Well, one will live and the other will die. If it dies, it dies. What is up, by Daniel Rock 08? Finally, we conclude the invasion angle with WWF Survivor Series right here in the 2001 year in review. This pay-per-view is a bittersweet pay-per-view. Because at least finally the damn fucking angle is over. And after so much hype, because this is a hype. This is the hype that's been going on since 1995. Actually, if you really want to think about it, the hype for this showdown has really been going on since Black Saturday. Way back in the early mid 1984, when Vince McMahon tried taking over TBS and Georgia Championship Wrestling, it did not work. Really, the war between WWF and WCW really started there. So the conclusion all ends in a Survivor Series match where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys of the 10 are WWF guys. Okay, whatever the fuck. And let's look at the match card. How many guys are true WCW or even ECW guys? We have one. Well, there's a bunch in the Battle Royale. There's besides the Battle Royale, you have Jazz, and that's about it for true WCW/ECW guys. We have a problem here. But that was the invasion going on, right? Anyways, live from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, this is Survivor Series, the end of the invasion angle. Winner takes all. And this show is so mediocre to good, but it is such should have been a better show, right? Isn't that what the invasion should have been? Like I said, all these invasion angle pay-per-views are pretty decent. All of these shows has at least 1 or 2 4-star matches. The problem is, it's the invasion angle, and everything about the invasion angle was incredibly disappointing. But we start off with Christian, the European champion, who has a title, the European title, which has been completely neglected throughout the invasion angle. And he defeats Al Snow for some reason. Al Snow, who's on Team WWF, that actually doesn't make sense. He should be on the Alliance because he's actually had his best things in ECW, but whatever. This is a whatever match, but it's WWF versus the Alliance, and this is the blow-off, and you have the European champion versus Al Snow. A 5, being generous. Next up, we have Tajiri defeating the Alliance Commissioner and William Regal. Both guys should be on the Alliance by default right from the beginning. Don't understand it. Don't get it. Didn't make sense. Didn't live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. This is just a whatever match. William Regal wins. It's a forgettable match. Again, this is your blow-off. At least they were teaming together for a while. Whatever. A 4. Next up, we have the WCW United States Championship and the WWF Intercontinental title on the line here in a unification match between Edge, the United States Champion now, and Test, the new Intercontinental Champion. So, much like the European title, the U.S. title was very neglected. You had Booker T was the U.S. Champion, kind of just gave it away to Canyon. Then, some reason, Kurt Angle was the United States Champion. Edge is the United States Champion here. There might have been a few championship holders here and there. But then you had the Intercontinental Champion, which was heavily dominated by Edge. But now Test got the title. So they switched belts. Whatever the fuck. We have this match, and it's a decent match, a 5.5 out of 10. Edge, of course, the pure WWF guy, wins and beats the other WWF guy. Don't care if he's supposed to be in the Alliance. Doesn't matter to me. He's a WWF guy. And a third straight, but all these matches, all of them, are WWF versus WWF. They really are. But anyways, Edge defeats Test, and he is the undisputed United States Intercontinental Champion. Whatever, a 5.5. Next up, we have the Steel Cage Unification Tag Team titles. I'm going to get this one right this time, because in my No Mercy review, I fucked it up. The Hardy Boys, the WWF Tag Team Champions, versus the Dudley Boys, the WCW Tag Team Champions, in a steel cage match for the unifications of the both tag team championships. This is a great steel cage match. And this is famous because of the famous spot where Devon's laying dead on the table. Jeff Hardy's about to climb the steel cage. He's on top of the steel cage. All he has to do is climb down. The Hardy Boys are the tag team champions. And Jeff Hardy decides to do what Jeff Hardy does best, and that's to do a Swanton Bomb. He crashes and burns. Devon moves out of the way, and the Dudley Boys win both the WCW and WWF Tag Team Champions, and they are safe. I need to note this, that every single champion and all the winners are safe. So, as it's winner takes all. So, the Dudley Boys are safe. Of course they're safe. They're WWF guys. They've been WWF guys for 2+ years now. So, of course, they're safe anyways. Another WWF versus WWF match. And, of course, this will start that little mini feud between Matt and Jeff Hardy at Vengeance, which they tried so hard getting these two to face off against each other. How many times did the Hardy Boys win off against each other in WWE only for it to just not be really that good? I mean, you had WrestleMania 25, you had Vengeance 2001. I mean, there's a couple others in there. So, whatever. A 7 out of 10. Next up, we have a bunch of Hammerneggers in the Immunity Invitational Battle Royale match. There are so many stupid shit in here. It's just, if you win this Battle Royale, you are free, no matter what, for a full year. Okay. Test wins this Battle Royale. So instead of having an alliance, a true alliance, pure, ECW, WCW guy, we get a defector. A defector wins. Why not? Because all the WWF guys have to win. Whatever. Oh, I also have to make sure to note that before the Survivor Series, all the alliance members lost their titles. So, whatever. Next up, we have, by the way, the Battle Royale gets a 4 out of 10. Just a Battle Royale. Stupid bunch of Hammerneggers. Next up, we have a 6-pack challenge for the Women's Championship. We have Lita, a WWF girl, a Jacqueline, a WWF girl, a Trish Stratus, WWF, Ivory, who's in the Alliance, but she's a WWF, Mighty Molly, who's Alliance, but she's WWF, and we have Jazz, who is an Alliance and is actually an ECW star, who is actually literally the only pure ECW or WCW person on this fucking show before the big WWF versus Alliance Survivor Series match if you take away the Battle Royale. Go figure. Whatever. Trish Stratus wins the Women's Championship, and this is a 6-pack challenge. It's a good match. Whatever the fuck. I give it a 5 out of 10. Finally, we have the finale. The finale. What the show's all been built about. What the show, in 4.5 months, it's all the invasion angle really was. 4.5 months, which really should have been like 5 fucking years. It concludes with this. This is the conclusion to the WWF versus WCW/ECW whole invasion. Look at this. Look at this. It's a nice cover, by the way. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6. You have 7. And you have Shane McMahon over there. 8. 8 WWF guys out of 10. You only have Booker T and you have Rob Van Dam. 8 out of 10 guys. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, there's Rock. That's great. You have Undertaker. That's great. You have Steve Austin. He's on the wrong team. Kurt Angle. He's on the wrong team. Whatever the fuck. So, you would think that the Survivor Series, this big dream match, this big Survivor Series match would be The Rock, Steve Austin, Undertaker, maybe Kane. Hell, throw Vince McMahon in there. Maybe a Triple H, maybe a Kurt Angle. Okay, Undertaker, Triple H, Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, and The Rock. There's your 5. Taking on Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Sting, and Goldberg. Or maybe you can toss in Ric Flair, maybe if Scott Hall's too drunk off his ass. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you throw Eric Bischoff as a manager on their side, maybe. But no, you don't get that. Instead, you get The Rock, Jericho, Undertaker, Big Show, and Kane versus Steve Austin, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Shane McMahon, and Kurt Angle, who just defected to the Alliance because he's the mole. And they play off as if Steve Austin's the mole. And what is the conclusion to this match? Before I get to the conclusion. Shane McMahon breaks up every fucking pin, which really drives me nuts. The final 4. Actually, forget that. The final 6. The final 6 guys is Undertaker, Jericho, Rock, Austin, Angle, and maybe Booker T got in there. But the final 4 was Jericho, Rock, Angle, and Austin. So you have the final 4. You have Jericho, who they could have used well in WCW. But again, look how great Chris Jericho is now in WWF. That's just like kicking the nuts to WCW. And of course, Steve Austin, self-explanatory. And it finally concludes with Steve Austin versus The Rock. You know, the same confrontation between these two guys. The same. So the invasion angle gets the exact same blow-off that the Monday Night Wars got between Steve Austin and The Rock from WrestleMania 17. So we got Team WCW/ECW, the Alliance, and Steve Austin defending the Alliance against WWF's The Rock. Oh boy, howdy, I hate the invasion. This is a great match. This is one of the finest. This is actually, a lot of people say this is the greatest Survivor Series match. I'm not going to say it's that because I still think Team Bischoff versus Team Austin from Survivor Series 2003 is the best traditional Survivor Series match still. But this is a very great match. A top 10 WWF 2001 match. Sure. But I give it a 9.5 out of 10. A very great match. I wouldn't give it a 10. But the blow-off, the final, is Steve Austin versus The Rock. It's not Rock versus Hollywood Hogan. It's not Austin versus Hollywood Hogan. It's not Austin Flair. It's not Undertaker Sting. It's not Undertaker Goldberg. It's not Austin Goldberg or Rock Goldberg or fucking Rock and Flair or whatever the fuck, or Vince and Bischoff. No. It's Rock and Austin. And a big swift kick to the balls to the WCW and even ECW. Because Rob Van Dam's like the second person eliminated in this match. And he's the most over guy on that team. But there's another thing that nobody else talks about. There's another thing nobody else talks about. This show happened in Greensboro, North Carolina, in the famous Greensboro Coliseum. You want to know why the Greensboro Coliseum is so famous? Because that's the Coliseum that hosted the first 4 Starcades. That's right. 83, 84, 85, and 86 Starrcades. And Starrcade used to take place on in November. So, how is it this? Check this out. It's not just about 8 of the 10 guys being WWF. It's not just about the blow-up being between Austin and Rock. But this is in the Greensboro Coliseum. 18 years after Ric Flair beats Harley Race for the NWA Championship, which was like the biggest show of Starrcade. Starrcade was the biggest show at that time. What a swift kick to the balls. And Jim Crockett, that is the foundations of WCW. That's what WCW was all built upon. The Nature Boy Ric Flair and Starrcade. Go figure, right? So now you're kicking Jim Crockett right in the nuts too. Nobody ever talks about that. Yes, the finale is Austin versus The Rock in Greensboro Coliseum 18 years after Starrcade 83. And not only this, Kurt Angle's the mold. He turns heel. A heel Kurt Angle turns heel on a heel Steve Austin. So that way he can fully turn heel the next night on Raw, just so that Austin, who beat the shit out of Lita with 9 steel chair shots, who tried to kill the WWF, is going to be a babyface the next night. And the next night, guess what? Just in Charlotte, right up there in Charlotte, North Carolina, his hometown, the Nature Boy Ric Flair's back. Why couldn't Ric Flair be on Survivor Series? You could have took out Shane McMahon and said, we got a mystery partner, and it's Ric Flair. So that concludes the invasion. Winner takes all. WCW, ECW is dead, and Vince McMahon just stands there with this glorious like he really accomplished anything. Hey, Vinnie Mac, it's over. The war has been over since March 23rd, 2001. And then you throw in this entire invasion angle just for a swift kick in the balls. Even though now you own these people's contracts. Why not instead, try to build these stars and actually make them worth the damn? I understand that they couldn't get the NWO immediately. I understand they couldn't get Ric Flair immediately. Or Goldberg. I understand that. Because they had Turner contracts. They were paid more money to sit on their asses than wrestle. I understand that. But why couldn't you just pay out millions of dollars? Oh, it would upset the locker room. You just paid $65 million to do the XFL, and that works out so greatly, did it? You would think that you would want to get that money back, right? Anyways, that's Survivor Series for you. A 5.7 out of 10. It really should have been an 11 out of 10. But everyone's a WWF guy except a couple of people. And this show sucked. And how fitting is it? The invasion angle ends with Austin versus The Rock, with Vince McMahon doing this in Greensboro Coliseum, the birthplace of Starrcade, the foundation, the Jim Crockett promotion, the foundation of WCW. How about that? Anyways, I'll catch you next time for Vengeance, as it's 4 competitors, 3 matches, 2 championships, 1 undisputed champion. Catch you next time. Goodbye.